facing SuperSport United?
Yeah, it's a first impression. It's a tough game. SuperSport are a really good team. They've got good cup pedigree. They've got a coach that's won trophies, and there's players within their squad that have won cups. So they have that sort of pedigree in cup competitions. Already we faced them 3 times this season. We fortunately were able to get past in the MTN 8 quarterfinal. They beat us at home in the league, and we got a draw away. So the games this season have been really tight and really close. So I anticipate a similar type of match in the quarterfinal against SuperSport. So yeah, to beat a team like SuperSport, there's certain things that you have to do really well defensively, where they really are good in certain areas in their attack. And then conversely, you've got to look to ask them questions and put them on the back foot. But yeah, tough game.
Coach, where does this level of maturity come from your squad this season? I think I've watching the last couple of games, and the players are just on a different level of mentality.
Yeah. No, I think that has grown a little bit in terms of, obviously at this stage, we got to the semi-final of the Nedbank last season. The pain of maybe not making the final, losing out on penalties, and then the semi-final of the MTN 8, which we lost on away goals, I think has just given us that desire and push to compete in trophies and in everything that we play for. And then obviously with a good Carling, winning that has given us, I think, that maturity and that belief that even at times when I don't think we're playing at our best, we're learning not to lose matches. Obviously on a good unbeaten run currently, but it's something that we must never become complacent about. We've got to keep working at it, got to keep pushing. And as I said, a lot of times that a lot of the younger players are starting to get to close to the 75, 80, Jaden Adams close to 100 caps. And that maturity with some of the senior players around them, I think, is helping us. Cool.
No, there's no questions, Stevie, sorry. Obviously you came very close last season. I mean, Lawrence is talking about the hunger. It matches up to the targets of the year. As you're saying, it's the maturity showing through, and there's nothing better than to cap it with a cup competition, I suppose.
Yes, no, I think, I think looking at the season, the way it's folding out, there's still a lot of league matches to be played, but having done well in the 2 cup tournaments already this season, and in the quarterfinal, I think we've got a lot to gain and nothing to lose in this next 2 months of our league and cup competition. So I think we've got to go out there and we've got to enjoy it and express ourselves and play to our potential and see what the season holds for us. So we've achieved a lot already, and I think that the players are starting to taste that sort of feel that they can be more successful, can be making finals. And we know when you have Jaden going to an AFCON and you've got now Ikram selected in the Bafana squad and going to travel, you're starting to get that experience of the players, 3 of our under-20s that are selected for the national team. That all sort of bodes well in terms of the maturity of the players and them understanding that we are good enough to go deep into competitions and not only go deep into competitions but can also win competitions.
Can I ask, you recently had the young Khulit visit. Obviously you opted not to sign him. Is it a quality issue or obviously his previous injury?
No, I think he's a quality footballer. We enjoyed having him, obviously with the pedigree that he has, and a really, really good technical footballer. And it was just a matter of that we already have our sort of foreign quota for the season full, and in centre-back position we already have 5 for this season. So it was just an initial look, and then come the end of the season we'll see what transpires in the market, and there's a possibility that we could invite him back for our pre-season. So it's not over. It will be dependent on 1 or 2 actions that may or may not take place.
Coach, I think I heard you in the week speak about professionalism involving Sekgota and Daryl leaving the club, but was that also sending a message to the rest of the group to say, you need to stand in line, or you can't achieve what you guys want to achieve because obviously you need that level of professionalism?
No, you do. I mean, it is about professionalism, about one thing that I'd said to the players, that we can be successful as a group and as a club and as a team, but there will always be obstacles in your way, whether it's the opposition, whether it's injuries, whether it's maybe lack of discipline. So it's my role as the head coach of the club to ensure that any obstacles that are in our way, that we plan and prepare for them, and if we need to take away those sort of issues that can become bigger, we need to do so for the benefit of the club.
Coach, I think in the last couple of seasons, it must have been about finding your feet. But when you can beat Pirates like you have done, you've beat Sundowns in the semis or quarterfinals of this competition, you've went head to head with the big guns and you've gotten the results. When then does it become about winning the trophy and not just we're just trying to get to the final?
Yeah, I think as I said earlier, making the semi-final and then not making the final, and then obviously making it to the final of the Carling. I think we can believe and have the trust within all what we do in our processes and us and the players and us that we can win trophies. To win back-to-back trophies in a season for a club like Stellenbosch would be, really, really immense. So it's a tough task to get to the final. Obviously, SuperSport, big team, a tough opposition. And thereafter, there's other really good quality teams left. So a lot of work to be done, but one game at a time. Focus on our next sort of league fixtures that are coming up, and then when the Nedbank Cup comes against SuperSport, then we'll be doing everything we can to get into the semi-final.
How do you get around the similarities really between yourselves and Super? You've been producing youngsters, maybe sometimes even been forced to kind of always rely on your DDC, rely on players like your Darrell. I know he's left, but that's been the way of just trying to find the players that no one is looking at, develop them. So now when you're going to play against a team that does something quite similar, plays almost similar.
No, I think that's why the counters I think are as tight and as close as we have. They've got some really good seasoned senior players, so do we. They've got some really good young players, and so do we. Their structures, the SuperSport youth system is well known in South Africa to have produced many top talented footballers. So we sort of on that path. We're trying to sort of emulate teams like the Ajax of the past, Cape Town, as well as SuperSport in producing young players for our team. So I think that's why a game against SuperSport is as close and as tough as it is, because as you say, there are a lot of similarities.
Sorry. Just one last. When Jaden does as well as he does and goes to the AFCON and so on, that the rumour mill is going to swing and already just started. From your position on Jaden, what is it that the club is doing to keep him at the club? Why are you open to the possibility of him going?
I think I've addressed that sort of question on a number of occasions. No, I don't think it's now the right time. I think obviously we need to concentrate on what we need to do in the short term, and that's to continue to have a solid season. Players like Jaden are important to us, and we need him to be focused and be with us and be present till the end of the season, and then we'll see what happens.